Hello, everybody, and welcome to another installment of the ERA, the Elite Racing Association, here for the regular season finale at Michigan. Now, you may be wondering exactly why Michigan? I thought we were at Martinsville. Well, there was a schedule change. Michigan is one of those tracks that we saw how good it was at Auto Club, and since we don't want to go to Auto Club quite yet, because that actually is going to come up in the playoffs, we are going to be at Michigan for the regular season finale. Now, we are all good to go here, and I will, as soon as I unpause this timer, I will go through the running order as we see it. Now, Cyber here is on pole. Yeah, first right here, but look at that, 3 whole tenths to our second place, Nathan, Agent Orange. Now, these guys are both in the playoffs right now. Right now, the top six are actually all in a line. They're all locked into the playoffs. Vince included, essentially. He basically just needed to start, and as long as he makes the next 10 seconds, then he will be a-okay. But going on through the rest of the running order, I will actually pick that up here as soon as I back on out of the lobby and then just rejoin. So that is what we're going to be doing here in a hot second. Just waiting for our friendly neighborhood Nathan, Agent Orange, in order to help us out with that. So as soon as he loads on in, there we go. I will be rejoining right now. Now we have 12 racers here tonight for Michigan. Michigan is a very fast, very fun track. But yeah, you can see that P3 Dakota, it's been a while since he has joined us up here. P4 will actually be selling dreams. A very good lap from him. Boz there in P5. P6 will be Vince. P7 Worst Cod. P8 will be Pug. P9 will be Goofer. And P10 will be WRX Mike. P11 Baseball Kid and Trump Train, who did not qualify. So as we load in now, let's actually go through the whole running order, not running order, the points positions right now. Now, essentially, for just joining the race, everyone that was in the top spots, apart from Brian SP, he was 30 points above the cut. As long as the Trump Train, which is the number 11, can outscore him by 37 points, we will see how that's going to work here. But essentially, everyone here, all getting off to a great start. Cyber, of course, in that number 12, Jackling's Jerky Menard scheme. I love the Menard schemes. Everyone knows that. By the way, I should mention that there is a lot to play for those that are already locked in. Mainly 5 bonus points for playoff points for just getting into the actual show that is for the win, as Buzz looks like he's a little bit laggy right there, so he will go off to and basically get out of the way. So very unfortunate for him, but now essentially, as him and the 88 were indeed lagging back there, so looks like this main pack is all in a big wad, but the 11 gets up into the 9, and the 2 gets up into the, oh my goodness, and they both go at it right there, so they are now going to be all within that running order. Oh, that was not the 43. Who was that? That was a 48 of Pug, so I apologize. The 48 was, of course, driven by Boz last season, so I still get him all mixed up. I'm not quite sure what Pug is doing back there, but you know what? To each their own. But look at this battle up here for the top spot. The 12 has it. Everyone wants it. Some wearing the extreme high sights, some not. And the 43, ooh, a little bit of netcode touch right there. You can see that he did not make contact on our screen. But yeah. So yeah, point situations. As it stands, Trump Train is 4 points out of the playoffs. So let's see how that's going to work. Or even Worst Cod. Worst Cod is 4 points above it. So in that number 9 machine, which is somewhere around here, right there, right behind this 2 car, if he can outscore Brian SP, if, say, Trump scores more points, then we will have a new person out and a brand new person in as a 22 collects a 14. Those 2 are best friends. I'm sure those 2 are in a party right there, so no harm, no foul. In fact, actually, I am following Agent Orange's YouTube, right, or Twitter, Twitch, my bad, as I should see that right there. Yep, that was this 22 just kind of bouncing off the apron. So now he has a lot of work to do, trying to move back forward. So yeah, these guys right there, that is that 14 that I'm talking about right there. They are just trying to just survive right now. And of course with very short stages. These races are sprints compared to what these guys are mostly accustomed to, which is 50%ers. But yeah, looking at the big move by the 9, just really just diving into the corner right there in turn 1. That's not how you want to take this line. You ideally want to kind of let off early and just let it coast to you. Let the corner come to you naturally. But it looks like there was a little bit kerfuffling going on up here for the top spot. The 12 of Cyber already being on it. 3 wide there for P3. And the 8 of Baseball Kid, who has won a race this season, but unfortunately will not be into the playoffs because of not making the minimum amount of races. He is all the way trying to circle the gap. No, that's not. I'm not sure why the camera lingers on this for so long. Halfway down the backstretch, sure, we'll just still look at turn 2. Still 3 wide there, going into turn 3. But everyone gets all in working order in right there. Baseball Kid regains P3, but crucially, this rejoins that second pack right there as that 12 of Cyber is gone. Absolutely just checked on out from this field. Now, as we wait for Nathan to cross the line, I can give you a lap update. 8 laps to go in this first stage. Very short stages, like I said. These guys are definitely looking for getting their race done and over with quickly here because there's only 50 laps. 50 laps total in this race is not a whole lot. As you see Drum Train actually go and get into it a little bit with his teammates there of the 2 of Selling Dreams as well as the 43 of Boz earlier in the lap. So yeah, now that 11 is just trying to just make his way forward. But yeah, this 12 numerically right in front. Look at how tight that battling is for P2. Let's follow the onboard of the 14 right here. So he is made his way back up into P5 and right now, that pack, this is why Michigan is so much fun. Just going and side by side, as long as you have cars that know exactly what they're doing, you can have some great racing here. But I'm actually very interested to see what Brian SP, if he will make the playoffs or not. It depends on if he can actually go and get the, well, since he's not here, if everyone around him, mainly Worst Cod and Trunk Train, can go and get the necessary amount of points in order to elevate themselves into that spot. So we'll have to keep an eye out for that. So essentially, Worst Cod, all he needs to do is outscore Brian SP by 28 points. Okay? Or I apologize. 29 points. 29 points in order to be square with him. But the 43 of Boz is actually hitting the wall right there and actually going to go and spin, hitting the 8 right there. Oh my goodness, and the 8 is all the way up in the air, and that's probably going to be a caution right there. And it is. So, wow. Let's actually watch that again. So I'm watching the replay right now. So it looks like the 96 and the 43 make a little bit of contact. The 43 comes back on down, but that actually does not do anything to the 96 right here. And it actually bounces the 8 back into it and just gets airborne by the 2. Oh my goodness. So now this is going to be a sprint for stage 1 here, because we're going to be restarting with 2 laps to go in this stage. That is probably not the best thing for Cyber, because you can see it right there. Dakota did not pit. Yep, watching from, or he did, he just took 2. Watching from the 14 of Nathan's perspective right there. So that's probably the worst case scenario for Cyber. But let's actually go to the back of the pack right here. Or actually, let's go to the middle. Let's follow Buzz. So you see the 6 of WRX Mike go and split the gap. That allows the 22 to clear, but being on worn tires, you can see that inside lane is kind of checking on up. The 43 is splitting these guys right down here. The 14 with the block, 4 wide there for a hot second as the 12 backs on out, knowing that this is going to be a kerfuffle waiting to happen. But so that you can see right there, the 22 washes on up the track. It's going to be 4 wide coming off the corner. Look at that. Everyone just clearing on out, trying to get as many points as they can. You see the top side of the 96, the 43, and the 6 right there. The bottom side consisting of the 14, the 8, and a little bit of contact being made right there. That's going to open up the door for the 8 to just scoot right on by. Look at that. And now it's going to be, 3 wide yet again, and Worstcott goes for a spin. Same thing with the 43. Oh, no. And just like that, it's the last lap of this first stage, so you know everyone's fighting for every point as they can. People getting off loose off of 2, and you can see that coming off of turn 4, Baseball Kid will go and get the first stage. But crucially, the 11 and the 9 both earn stage points. Now, I'm going to keep a running tally of this. Like I said, it's 33 points for the... It's 33 points for the 11. And it just needs to be 29 points for Worstcott. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on that. So Trump Train got 6 points for finishing P5 there. So Trump, I'm going to put down a number 6. And then Worstcott finished P9, so he'll earn 2. So that's what we have to work with right now. So we're going to be keeping an eye on that and checking in with the Discord right there, seeing what's going to happen. My bad, Worstcott for the bump says the 48 Pug. So it looks like everyone's in their party right there, so they're talking. Still 12 drivers left in this field. Stage 2 is now on the start, and we are here just as soon as the 14 crossed the line on a little bit of lag delay. 12 laps in this stage, so we're going to see how this is going to roll right here. Big kerfuffling going on in the back of the pack. It looks like the 48 is mega lagging. Oh my goodness, and I think that's why he's down there on the apron, so he doesn't, and he is going to back on out of that way right there. So oh my goodness, that was really lag. And I know that's not a real word, but yeah, that was huge lag right there. So tip of the hat to him for getting on out of the way. But look at this, 3 wide racing right there going into turn 1, the 6 all the way down low. The 14, it comes down a little bit on the 96, not a huge deal. It's currently the 12 and the 8 up there in the front of the pack. The 8 just currently just kind of riding right now. The 12, same thing. The 96 is going to take P3 with the virtue of the draft. 3 wide in the back of this little train right there. The 14 gets clapped by the 11 right there, but no harm, no foul. He just needs to come on back down the track and he'll be fine. So that is now going to be P8 for Agent Orange right there. P9 will belong to, Worstcott. P10, Dakota. P11 will be Goofer. P12 will be Pug, as he's just kind of riding the lightning right now. But look at that top side. Really making a presence. Look, that 14. I have to go on board with that. Oh, it looks like Pug lagged on out of this race. That is very unfortunate for him. But you saw how much he was lagging. That's probably was just a server connection issue. But yeah, that 14 gaining 2 spots for the price of 1 right there by just going to the top side. Very veteran move of him to know that the draft will automatically just surge to the top side. And right now these guys, but he goes down. Commentators curse. And he is going to be, very heads up driving right there. We're going to be watching from him. The 6 comes on down. Probably didn't realize he was there. And yeah, because you can see the 6 come on back on up. He didn't quite realize that he was there. Oh my goodness. It's not, he didn't lose that much of a time right there, but still, that has to be a little bit infuriating. No harm, no foul, though, as he can just go right back into it. Single foul, though, for this front pack right here. So, essentially, if I'm counting my laps correctly, this is 8 to go? We'll have to see if as soon as this 14 goes on by. But big move by the 6 to the outside right here. Yes, indeed, it is 8 to go right here. So, yeah, big move by the 6 to try to go to the outside. Actually, it cuts the 8 off of the 12 as there was a pass for the lead. And you can see the 8 right now just trying to... Just getting back into his rhythm right there. 11 really throwing it on down, but the 96 will retain his P3 status right there, as now the 12 regains the lead. Here's the 9 of Wurstcott. I mean, of course, we need to keep an eye on him, just see where he is on points and all that. Of course, if he doesn't make the playoffs, essentially, it'll be coming down by mere points because of Brian SP and not making the race. Oh, you can just see how much draft helps right there. The 6 was in P2, now he's in P4. The 8 coming back into it right there. The 96 now getting into the top side. A little bit of a gap right now forming between the 43 and the 14. So big moves for him right there. As now you can see the 11 just trying to make the move on the high side. I don't think the momentum's there quite yet. So he needs a little bit more. Making a slight contact with the 8. Not a big deal, but really hugging that inside. And you can see just how steady these guys are coming off the corner. That is indicative to me of a very tight race car. I personally be using a higher preset around here, but, you know, to each their own. Technically, there is no out of bounds at Michigan. However, there is a very slippery slope. Essentially, I'll show you riding along with this 8 car. You can see where the 12 is right there. That's fair game. You can run the apron the entire front stretch. Not a big deal. However, this corner right here, if you run the apron, eventually it will spin you on out. So that is definitely a no-no, as you don't want to be spinning on out. So the 8 washing up the track loses 3 spots there in that exchange. You can see towards the back of this pack right here, the 22 is trying to catch his buddy, old friend of the 14, but to no avail quite yet. Looks like the 2 has also lost touch, and the same thing with the 9. The 88 as well is somewhere back here. There he is. So it looks like the 88 is actually in front of both of them. So excellent news for Goofer, as he's just trying to really close down the gap a little bit. But yeah, excellent job from these guys up here. They're really just fighting their own race right now. Not really working with each other. Now, to what I imagine, these guys are all working or in a voice chat with one another. But what I'm seeing right now kind of is indicative of not. They're kind of tripping over each other's toes, all wanting to be the leader, but none being the follower. All making the move to the outside, but the 12 is really working the inside really well. The 11 may finally get there, though, as he is now finally going to be there, but, oh, never mind. As now the top side, oh, it's 4 against 1 right now. At least Trump Train should be able to clear, but that 6 is going to make a huge move down to the inside. He may pick up 2 for the price of 1 right here, as you can see that it's 3 against 2 on the top versus the bottom. Meanwhile, the 43 and the 14 are also kind of going at each other right now, not really giving each other an inch. I think 4 laps to go in this stage. Like I said, we'll wait until the 14 crosses the line right here. 2 laps to go in this stage, so even better. So right now you can see why they are getting so aggressive right now, going for every stage point as you can. One thing you may also not see is that the 18 of Kalen is not here. He is currently out right now, trying, big move by the 8 to really force it on down. He was there, but he's going to get forced into, the grass. As it looks like, a little bit of contact with the 96 kind of cleared him away right there. So, yeah, just kind of ping-pong in the middle right there. So, just, unfortunately, the 8 really being on the inside of it, but prime example of being on the apron. The 8 is going to get collected, and the 43 and the 14, the 11 is going to get involved too. Oh, it looks like 11 just got really loose right there. So he's gonna lose a lot of time going into it. But that is prime example of don't run that apron. And coming off of turn 4, Cyber will pick up stage 2. Oh, I'm sure the Discord will be blowing up from that. So, all right, so let's remind everyone about where Trump, by virtue of losing all those positions, just kind of waiting for all the stage 2 competitors, top 10, to cycle on through right now to get our results. Let's see here. Worst COD finished, I do believe, in P8. Oh, none of the above. He did not even score points. Ooh, that's huge. But Trump finished P7, earning him 4 points. That's 10 points to his bucket. Now, I should... Oh my god, my pen's dying on me. Of course it is. Ah! Abort! Alright, so, interesting from Worst COD right there. I don't think he backed on out of the race. No, he's still there. He just finished in P11 for that stage. Huge implications for that. So, let's check on in with the Discord to see what was being said right there. Oh, okay, so Mike was apologizing for that contact with the 8 right there. So, again, tip of the hat to him. Also, so I should mention that the amount of points that you get for finishing in the proper stages, I should say, or I guess the race, there's 12 contenders. Technically 11 now, as the 48 has already lagged on out of this race. That means you can earn 25 points right there. Alright? Trump Train has just earned 10 total stage points. So even if he were to finish 11th, which is 26 points, that would be 36. That's what he needs in order to make the playoffs. Okay? So Trump's in. So I don't need to worry about Trump anymore. Alright, so Trump has just made the playoffs. Golf clap to him. Crucially, though, Worst COD has only earned 2 stage points. Okay? And remember, he needs to make at least 29 points to tie it up. Now, the tiebreaker for this is best finish. So I'm going to look at that right now and see who had the best overall finish in the season, I should say. And that tiebreaker would go to Brian SP with a 5th place at Atlanta. So Brian, with virtue of a tiebreak, would get in. Meanwhile, Worst COD will be out. Meaning, he has to earn 30 points. Meaning, he has to at least finish P9 in order to make it into the playoffs. So, Worst COD, if you're listening, you know what you have to do. You have to finish P9 in this race. So currently, right now, he's trying to do that. I think he actually is already there. Wherever Goofer is. Yep, there's Goofer all by his lonesome. Back here. So that means currently, that is P11. P10 is the 2 of Selling Dreams, and P9 would be Worst COD. So in that number 9, you have to watch that number 9 machine, because, like I said, if he finishes P9 or better, he is in the playoffs. I should also mention that there's a big battle going on for the lead right there. It's 2v2. It's the 14 and the 8 up top, and the 12 and the 96 down low. We have a person in chat. Let's see who that is. I just saw the comment. Oh, it's actually. Oh, it's Pug. Am I in the playoffs still after this race? Yes, you showed up for the race, so you're in the playoffs. Ooh, the 22 getting really loose off of the apron right there, and that 9 losing the spot. Like I said, he needs to finish in P9 or better in order to advance into the playoffs. So he needs to be on the lookout for that. As we kind of circle on around, I know I've been neglecting to see the overall finish for this race because right now there is a solid gap between the top 4 and the remaining back 6 of this field, or 7 technically. So let's see here. As Nathan goes around the start-finish line, according to his stream, we have 12 laps to go in this stage. These races are sprints, my friends. Absolutely. It is time to schmoove it or groove it. So that 9 needs one more spot. He needs one more spot in order to miss it, or in order to get into the playoffs. He'd be out by 1 point. 1 point if he does not make it in, or if he does not finish right here. So, going on through, ooh, big moves by the 8, kind of getting rassled out of the way right there by the 96. But it seems to me that we've had the tale of 2 seasons right now. The 12 versus the 14. The 12 and the 14 have been glued together so much throughout the entirety of this season. Let's actually compare their stats for a little bit. So, as we just go from the 12s on board right here, Cyber, of course, only has 1 win in this series. And that win came at... Oh, hang on, my bad. That is Nathan's. Nathan has 3 wins, by the way. It came at Homestead, the Roval, and Charlotte. So he won the Charlotte double. But Cyber, on the other hand, Cyber won at Auto Club, which is a very similar track to Michigan. So it's no wonder that he is doing well right here. But who knows? A well-timed dive bomb could go on out and change up everything. So, but these two gentlemen have absolutely been the class of the ERA field so far. They have, well, same thing with the 18 of Kalen. I'm gonna throw Kalen into this as well. The 3.7 average finish for Kalen, very consistent. Cyber also has 3.7 and 2.3 with Nathan, Agent Orange. So it's these 3 have been absolutely the class of the field so far. However, Kalen is not here, meaning he could actually voice crack. I am 27 years old, and apparently I'm still going through puberty. So he could lose P3 in the standings, meaning that is precious bonus points that he could lose out on going into the playoffs. But that is to be decided here. So, looks like it's going to be the top 4 right now that is going to be going on out in order to win this race. However, there is potential for these guys. Oh, I should say right now that the 2 and the 9 have fallen off this pack. There's the 9. Where's the 2? So there goes the top 4. 8th. Waiting. There's the 9. And we're waiting for P10. There's the 88. Where's the 2 at? There is the 2. I don't know what happened there, but we have just seen that Worstcod is in P9. That is exactly where he needs to be. But I'm not sure what happened with the 2. If he just got loose or something or other, or I don't know. But either way though, we have 6 laps to go in this final regular season race. We are going to be off just for the playoffs here, going into this next week. However, we will be back The playoffs will resume, or not resume. They will start in 2 weeks' time, and that will be at Richmond. It'll be the ERA's second douse into the short track circuit, and then Auto Club will be the final round of 12 track. So that will be in 3 weeks' time. The Talladega will be the round of 8 opener. Canadian Tire will be the round of 8 closer, and then the championship race at Phoenix. Cyber though, having a really strong lead that you don't really see because Michigan, for all intents and purposes, is a draft track. But you can see that that 14 has a little bit of work to do, and the 6, crucially behind him, has gapped himself from that second pack. So let's actually check on in with that second pack if you don't mind me doing so. So here's Dakota with the 43 of Boz. Actually, that second pack is absolutely dissolved. So the 6 showing that he has pace in order to just stay in front. He's actually gapped himself, like I said. The 11 now starting to gap himself from the 22 and the 43. And again, I'm not sure why we hold on to this for so long, but that camera shot is absolutely beloved. That 9 car, though, is in the position that he needs to be. As long as he doesn't lag out or something like that, he will be in the playoffs by 1 point. Even at tiebreak, like I said, wouldn't have done it. So, 3 laps to go. We're going to be riding along with these front cars here for the final triad of races here, or laps here. The 12 of Cyber is now playing major defense. You can see that he's no longer running the high line as the 96 guy gets booted out of the way. You can expect that he's going to get a little boot in return right there. But that 8 car timed that run, and he's going to be going right now. But that 96, don't count him out yet. If he gets back up to the 8, you know it can expect a bumper in return. 2 laps to go here. The 14 and the 12 are playing a little bit of game of chicken of who is going to come up off the apron on the front stretch last. You want to be as low as you can, but you don't want to enter too low, as you can see that now the 8 gets a little bit loose. Now it looks like it's in this final lap and a half, it's going to be a battle between these 2 right here. The 14 is alongside, but if I'm the 14, I would back on off and build the run. It looks like Cyber has really held himself to that high standard. You can see that he's going to run this as low and as long as he can, and that 14 playing right into his hands. That 12 is playing that game perfectly, but he choked on up a little bit, and a little bit of contact between the 12 and the 14 that actually may play dividends here. That 12 is not going to leave that white line here. It's going to be a side-by-side battle. Going into turn 3, we're going to be watching from this top. Oh! Wait, what? And that is our finish right there. What the heck happened? Well, that is our finish indeed. A caution came on out, and I'm seeing from Nathan's onboard, Worscod has finished P9. So, he is in the playoffs. Golf clap for Worscod. So, I wonder if we can offer a little bit of insight as to what happened to create that caution, because I'm not even sure. But Cyber, with his second win of the season, oh, excellent job. And fastest lap, maybe? Fastest lap goes to the 14, so I guess a little bit of a trade-off right there. Oh, good racing all around, guys. Don't mind me. I am going to blue screen for a hot second and get these guys up in here. All right. So, it looks like as we wait for these guys to join the party, um, we're going to be offering maybe some insight as to what happened in that final lap. Maybe. We're seeing some people typing right there. But big news all around though. Cyber P1, Nathan P2, Baseball Kid P3, Vince P4, WRX Mike P5, Boz P6, Dakota P7, Trump Train P8, Worst Cod P9, Tom Selling Dreams P10. That means Goofer finished 11th and Pug 12th. But like I said, crucially, Worst Cod, by finishing P9, we total up the points. He is in the playoffs by 1 point. Golf clap for Worst Cod. So we got our top three up in here. Let's just say, good race all around. It was a sprint. We started the race here at 9:15. That was 35 minutes ago. Oh, these sprint races, you guys are not quite used to these style of racing, but they provide a little bit different strategy in mind. It's basically go at the green because you don't have time. But let's start with our P3 here. Baseball Kid. That number 8 machine for Tyler Reddick really served you well. You had a little bit running through the grass a little bit, but you were able to make your way back up to the front. How was it? Did you run a looser setup? I would assume.
Yeah, I actually ran a 6.
A,
Jesus.
a 6, man. Honestly, I feel like for a 25%, I feel like honestly maybe even a 7 would have been maybe the call. So, but Baseball Kid, it looked like you had a very fast car. Unfortunately, it just seemed like everyone else also had a fast car, and like I said, you kind of got moved up and out of the way, but you were able to go up and get it here. Now, unfortunately, you are not eligible for the playoffs. You do not make the minimum amount of races, but a P3 finish at Michigan has to create some kind of momentum, especially as we return to another 2 miler here in or I guess I should say 3 weeks' time. ERA, like I said, offering a bunch of different strategies. How did you navigate your way through the field, do you think?
Well, from the lag out from qualifying, I had to start in the back, and it was just all about patience to get up to the front and just like trying to battle and weave through the field. But after stage one, I won. Well, at the end of stage one, I won, and then it was pretty much a good car from there. The car wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, but it was pretty good to give me a P3.
Well, P3 indeed. Now, like I said, a little bit stat that I wanted to talk about here is how good of a car you had. It's very much a tale. This is your fourth start of the season. I should mention, tale of a weird part-time season. You win Daytona, 11th at Bristol, Mid Ohio P5, and a third at Michigan. Your good finishes definitely outweigh the bad ones. So hopefully Richmond can play a little bit kinder role to you as it didn't at Bristol.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to run this series a lot more, but of course school has to get in the way of it, so I
Oh, of course.
can't really run like I want to, but it is what it is. But I'm happy to get a P3 out of it. Congrats to Cyber and Nathan. Good job on the P2.
Well, they're a little good sportsmanlike conduct right there. Excellent job. So with that, we're going to go into our P2 right here. So Boyer, so I was watching your onboard. There was a time in stage two, you ended up losing a lot of time. What happened there? Let's start off with that.
Stage two. Stage two, I think I had contact with the 11, and it just shot me down through the grass or something like that. I don't really remember. I was in like 3 or 4 crashes this whole race. Uh, and I don't even remember them all. None of them like crashes, just contact out of nowhere and being shot in different directions because NASCAR heat physics.
Well, one of them actually came at the hands of your teammate. I did notice that. Teammate and best friend Dakota. Now Dakota's also going to be in the playoffs. I'm wondering, is there a bit of a friendly rivalry going on there? Maybe a bet to see how far you guys can go.
Nah, he best best way to put it, he doesn't really care. It's just this is just a video game to him. He tries to have fun with it, but he doesn't care whether or not he makes it X amount of, you know, stages or whatever else.
Well, that's actually probably one of the better ways to look at it, because at the end of the day, this is a video game.
Yeah.
That's what I always say, at least. I mean, of course, we all get upset or happy or mad, at the way things turn on out. But at the end of the day, when we sit down the controller, turn off the Xbox, PlayStation, it's just a video game. But Nathan, to kind of eliminate everything of what I just said, you finished P1 as the regular season champion. That's 15 bonus points to add to your bucket. Not saying it's a free ride through the entire playoffs, but as we've seen in real life, you can see that those playoff points help.
I think that puts me at like 37 playoff points. So
I will have to look at the exact number, but I do believe it's somewhere in the 30s. I'll say that.
yeah, it's upper 30s, I believe. So yeah, it's a nice cushion for or at least the first two rounds.
Well, let's see here, actually. Playoff points. To start off the day, you had 22, so yeah, it will be 37.
Yeah, and yeah, I feel good about that. Richmond, I'm okay at. Would you replace Martinsville?
It was this race with
Auto Club.
yeah. So Auto Club is the
Yeah,
new round of 12 finale.
yeah. So I mean, Richmond Auto Club, I feel pretty good about. Talladega, you never know, and Canadian Tire is my best of road courses. Doesn't say much, but I feel pretty confident in making it to Phoenix.
Oh, there we go. The gauntlet has been thrown down. In fact, actually, speaking of that gauntlet, before I do that, excellent job, and thank you for letting me watch your POV there.
Yeah,
You had a excellent job in P2, and as I did say, as I looked at the number, 37 playoff points. Unless you won a stage, did you win a stage?
I did not.
Oh, so yeah, 37 points is what you're going to be starting off with.
Yeah, I really wish it hadn't ended under caution right there. I'd finally gotten a good run on Cyber to the outside of Cyber on the last lap, and I'd been pretty decent on holding the second lane in 3 and 4. But yeah, I don't even know what happened behind us, but the caution came out and ended the race prematurely. So congrats to Cyber, and good job to Baseball Kid and everyone else.
Well, and speaking of Cyber, let's go on up and say hello to, I guess, back-to-back race winners in the same week. So you won in Challenger at Talladega, and then you won here in ERA. Two different tracks, but both 2 milers in I'll say dominating fashion. You were the dominant force, absolutely putting a killer on stage one before that caution came on out. Cyber, what do you think made the difference?
I think what made the difference is that when it comes to these draft tracks, it mainly just comes down to like how your patience will be because you want to line up your car where you want to win the race, which I did tonight. But yeah, I mean with this track and like you said, Talladega, it's two different tracks. One's longer, one's just a 2 miler. But yeah, I mean I just let patience drive the car and dominate the race and won it. Good racing baseball and Nathan on second and third. Jack Link's Ford Menards Mustang was fast. I'm happy with that.
Oh, and that's probably the best thing to look at because we were talking about just racing for fun, and if also you can go out and win it, that's also really good. I was looking at your playoff points, and correct me if I'm wrong, you won only one stage, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so That puts you up to 10 with that, and then 15 with the win. 15, and then you actually passed Kalen because he didn't show up for this race to get second in the regular season championship, which earns 12. So you're starting off with 32 playoff points, I think.
Not a bad
Wait,
starting of
wait,
playoff
hang on.
points.
27. I'm sorry. I wish I could do math. 15 plus 12. My bad. 27 still. 27 is still
Yes.
really, really good.
Yeah, that's not bad. I take that.
So, Cyber, you heard it from Nathan's interview. He's calling you the one of the championship favorites. Do you have anything to say about that?
Um, Looking at round one, that's really going to be my strong suit because both tracks I've won it before. Round two, though, that I'm just keeping puzzled in my mind, consumed because Dega is a wild card. I mean, I did win there, but it's really hard to win at those type of tracks. And then Canadian Tire, I mean, anything can happen down there, so see what happens.
Well, and we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to take a week off, of course. That is just to kind of rest up for the playoffs, and then we're gonna go straight with 7 races: 2 in the round of 12, 2 in the round of 8, and then the championship race at Phoenix in, well, I guess 8 weeks time. So a lot of racing left to do in this ERA season, but big news are on the horizon. So maybe check our Twitter here in the next couple of days. But apart from that, guys, any final thoughts before we close on out for the night?
It was overall a good race, and Diver
Yeah,
played it
very
smart and
pretty much.
felt in position to win.
All right, well, thank you all so much for watching. This is your host, Private Patton. Congrats to our top 3 podium finishers. That is Cyber on his second win on the board and clinching second place in the regular season finale or championship. Nathan with the first place in the regular season championship and 37 points to his bucket. And then Baseball Kid, another great performance in that podium. 2 podiums in his part-time season. So with that, we're going to close on out for the night. See you in 2 weeks' time at Richmond. Have a good night, everyone. Peace.